The client coming in today is Justin, a married 40-year-old father of two children, ages 8 and 10. Justin is visibly upset because of the situation that his mother is in. Justin's mother, Emma, 78 and beginning to lose her memory. She has placed herself in dangerous situations in the past, and the stress of caring for his mother has placed strain on Justin's work and relationship with his family. Justin wants to learn what it would take to put his mother in a nursing home. The social worker will display reflective listening, physical attending behaviors to demonstrate attention and understanding, and will identify feelings as a means of clarification. My name is Rebecca Lyons. I'll be your case manager here at the agency. It's a pleasure to meet you. What would you like to be called?
Justin. Justin's fine.
Okay, well, it's nice to meet you, Justin. Can you tell me a little bit about what brought you in here today?
Well, it's my mom. I always wanted to live close to her so that I could care for her as she aged. But lately, it's taking up more and more of my time. She's not doing well mentally. My wife is tired of hearing about it, and I don't know what else to do about it.
Okay, let me make sure that I understand you. Your mother is needing more care and more of your time, and that's beginning to place stress on your home and your family life.
Right. I'm afraid she may have to be placed in a home, a nursing home. I feel confused. I feel overwhelmed. I always thought I'd be able to provide for her, but I can't give her the time she needs, and it hurts. It hurts to see her in the state that she's in. She left the stove on overnight last week, and things are just getting worse. It won't be long until she hurts herself, and I don't know what else to do.
That sounds very stressful. Can you tell me a little bit more about what your mother is doing, her specific behaviors that are upsetting you?
Yeah. First of all, she doesn't drive anymore, so I have to bring her to everything she needs to do, take her everywhere she needs to go. Keeping the conversation going with her is becoming impossible because she forgets what's happening halfway through. A couple of weeks ago, I went over to her house and found her asleep on the porch because she had forgotten what time I was coming to see her.
Must have been very hard for you to see your mother in that state. Now, does your mother have any other support systems in her life currently?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's just me. My brother lives across the country, and my dad died years ago. I think my mom used to have some other friends, but they lost touch ages ago. If I don't spend time with her, she would sit in front of the TV all day long. I'm wondering if she'd be happier living in a nursing home, but I'm positive she's not going to go for that.
Okay, so it sounds like your mother has been living on her own since your father died, and you and your family are kind of the only contact that your mother has with the outside world?
That's mostly correct. My brother does call her once a week.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. So you said the situation with your mother is affecting your home life. Can you elaborate on that for a little?
Yeah. So, I'm busy with work all day. After work, I head over to my mom's house to make sure she's okay. Once a week, I go grocery shopping with her. I'm responsible for cleaning her house, and I try to keep her company when I can. My wife is very busy with work throughout the day, and after work, she is taking care of our kids. I find myself spending less and less time with my family because I simply don't have the time. I can tell that my relationship with them is suffering. I found out 3 days after the fact that my wife had received a promotion at work. Why? Because I hadn't had a chance to sit down and talk with her. 3 days? She hadn't said so, but I totally know that she's unhappy with the situation.
It must have been troubling for you to hear about your wife's promotion days after.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little about your wife's relationship with your mother?
Okay, so they're not extremely close. They've always been friendly and civil, but that's about it. When my mom started getting worse, my wife started cooking meals for her and taking them to her. But that's pretty much it. She doesn't really have the time to spend with my mom because she's so busy with the kids.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, what would you like to accomplish from today's visit?
I want my mom taken care of, and I want some of my life back.
Okay. You talked earlier about placing your mother in a nursing home. Now, have you discussed this with her?
Well, I brought up the idea a few times, but she gets very upset very quickly. And of course, I change the subject. I just don't think she's going to agree to this.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, your mother can't be placed in a nursing home without her consent. Have you considered any other treatment plans?
I don't know of any others, and this seems completely hopeless, actually.
I know that this is very frustrating, but it seems to me you have a loving wife and you have a close relationship with your mother and you have two wonderful children. So there are definitely some options that we can discuss. Now, does your mother sort of accept the fact that she's losing her memory?
Sometimes she does. When I mentioned the nursing homes, she snapped that she was completely fine. When I found her asleep on the porch, though, she cried. She went to pieces and kept apologizing for the state she was in. No, she was embarrassed.
That must have been upsetting. How do you think that your mother would respond to having someone that she didn't know stopping by to check on her on a daily basis?
What do you mean?
Well, there are services available where people can come in as an in-home aide to check on your mother and make sure that she's being taken care of, to make sure that she's being fed, so maybe you would have a little more time at home and you wouldn't have to worry so much. So if you think that your mother would be open to this, this is definitely an option that we could look into.
Well, that sounds promising. I don't know how she would respond, though.
Well, did you tell your mother that you were meeting with a social worker today?
Well, I did tell her, but I don't know if she remembers. She seems to forget a lot of what I discussed with her. When I told her, actually, she seemed a little upset, but she didn't say much.
Okay. How do you think you would feel about bringing in your mother to meet with both of us?
What purpose would that serve?
Well, you said that your mother is forgetful, but it still seems as though she's able to make her own decisions. Is this true?
It is.
Okay, well, we could present to her a few different options and see what she would be the most comfortable with. It's important that we don't try to belittle her feelings or go over her head, because that would sort of be taking away from her worth as a person. So we could see how she would like to proceed as the next step. What do you think?
All right. Well, I'd be open to that, and I'm pretty sure I could get to agree to at least meet with you as well.
Okay, well, that sounds great. So what would the next step for you be from this?
Well, I could talk to my mom tomorrow and get back with you later this week. If she's willing to come in, we can schedule a meeting with her. But if not, I'd still like to come back in actually and discuss other options.
Okay, I think that sounds like a very important next step, and I think that's a reasonable goal for this week.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to discuss with me today?
Well, really, actually just being able to talk about it has been helpful. It's nice to finally feel at least there's some hope of getting, for my mom, actually taken care of, and for my marriage to get back a little bit to normal.
Okay. I want to thank you for coming in today and sharing this with me. I can tell that this is a very difficult situation for you, and it's admirable, that you're taking this time to care for your mother. Okay. Well, I look forward to hearing from you later this week.
Thanks. Sounds good.